Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, today we're going to be talking about some more conspiracy theories. And today we're going to be starting with some more Mandela effects and some updates on some of our favorites. So since we started talking about the Mandela effect probably a year ago, it has blown the fuck up. Everybody's talking about it. YouTubers are talking about it. News outlets are talking about it. Literally, my mom is talking about it. And because so many more people are talking about it, a lot more people are out there looking for proof. And they have found some good ones. Okay, so the first new Mandela effect we're going to talk about is about Seth MacFarlane's name. So Seth MacFarlane is a guy who created Family Guy and directed the movie Ted, and we've always known him as Seth MacFarlane. You know, Seth MacFarlane. That's how I remember it, but turns out we're wrong. His name has been Seth MacFarlane the whole time. What? I specifically remember his name being Seth MacFarlane, and I'm not alone. I mean, just look at these pictures from TV Guide and different press outlets and different TV show reviews. They all say Seth MacFarlane. And if you search it on Twitter, everybody calls him Seth MacFarlane. But now we're supposed to believe that it's been Seth MacFarlane the whole time and we've all just been wrong? I don't know. That one fucking pisses me off. Okay, so this next one drives me crazy because it changes everything I've ever remembered. So Mickey Mouse used to be my favorite. I mean, he was my favorite cartoon. I had toys of him. I watched all his movies. He was my fucking hero. And I remember him having red shorts and little red suspenders. He even had two little buttons in the front of his shorts, two big yellow buttons that held his suspenders together. Well, turns out I was fucking wrong. Mickey has never worn suspenders, ever. Just look at all of these pictures of Mickey from throughout the years. No suspenders, no suspenders, no suspenders. Just look at this clip from one of his old movies. And this is the part that really blows my mind. I have this picture of me kissing my favorite Mickey doll from when I was like 3 years old. And I specifically remember the picture of me holding him, and he had the red shorts and the red suspenders and his little black body. And then I re-looked at it, and it looks like this. No suspenders! But I'm not alone. Lots of other people remember him having suspenders too. Just check out some of these baby clothes, some of these Halloween costumes, and even some toys had suspenders in them. And by the way, there is no way that he just has nothing on top. You're trying to tell me he's naked? I don't believe that. Okay, so now we're going to talk about some updates. So one of my favorite Mandela effects is about the movie Star Wars. And it's when Darth Vader said, "Luke, I am your father." But he didn't. As you guys remember, in the movie, he actually said,
"No. I am your father."
I know, fucking wrong. But recently, somebody found a Christmas tree ornament from 2005 that talks, and it says this.
"Luke, I am your father."
Yeah, they were literally selling merchandise, saying a line that never happened in the movie. Then somebody found a clip of the guy who plays the voice of Darth Vader. His name is James Earl Jones. They found a clip of him literally saying, "Luke, I am your father." Check it out.
When I first saw the dialogue that said, "Luke, I am your father," I said to myself, he's lying.
What? Literally the guy who said the line remembers saying, "Luke, I am your father." And you're supposed to be telling me that that never happened? Okay, so our second update is for the Sally Field quote that we all remember being, "You like me, you really like me." But it turns out it was,
"You like me right now. You like me."
Well, of course, me and most of you guys remember it being, "You like me, you really like me." Well, supposedly, Sally Field remembered it the same way. Here's a clip of Sally Field on the David Letterman show in 1993 where she says it herself.
Yeah.
They like me. They really like me.
Yeah, even she remembers it being, "You like me, you really like me." Okay, so this last Mandela effect we're going to talk about involves a celebrity death. So as you guys know, the actor Gene Wilder, who played Willy Wonka, died recently. But when it happened, I had this weird feeling of like, did this happen a couple years ago? Why do I remember this happening a couple years ago? But I didn't really look into it. Well, then a lot of other people started feeling the same way, and then they started looking into it. And then people found Rest in Peace Gene Wilder Facebook pages that literally said he died in 2013. As you can see here in one of the bios, it says, "Gene Wilder died late Tuesday, March 26, 2013 of natural causes." Yeah, so those Facebooks were created years ago and said he died years ago. But supposedly he died just this year. Okay, so let's move on from Mandela effects onto something even fucking crazier and something that literally has ruined my life this week. I was at my friend Drew's house and he had like the Amazon Echo, I think, and you can talk to it and say, hey Alexa, play me a song, do this, do that. Well, we were playing around with it and he said, oh, have you read all the conspiracy theories about these speakers? And I was like, no. What? And then he told me there is a theory that these speakers were created so that they would go in our houses and record everything we say. So the idea is that the government wants to hear everything we're saying at all times. So these speakers that we put in our family rooms or that we put in our bedrooms can literally pick up every sound in our house. And the way they advertise it is like, oh, these speakers are just to make your life better, to make your life easier. Just check out one of the ads.
Alexa, what do you do?
I can play music, answer questions, get the news and weather, create to-do lists, and much more.
Awesome.
Yeah, kind of creepy when you think about it. And what they don't tell you is that those speakers record everything you say because their idea is that, oh, it's going to record everything you say so that the speaker will learn about you and remember your voice and remember things you want. And that's true. They do record everything you're saying. But you know what's even creepier? What's another thing that you talk to and ask questions and ask for help? Something that you have on you all the time.
Greetings, the Queen.
That was supposed to be creepy. I forgot I told her to call me the Queen. But anyways, yes, Siri. So Siri is in your pocket all the time. She's with you everywhere, recording literally everything you're saying. Apple even put out this quote confirming that. When you use Siri or diction, the things you say will be recorded and sent to Apple in order to convert what you say into text. All of the data is used to help Siri and diction understand you better and recognize what you say. So they're basically admitting that Siri does record everything you say and use it for her learning abilities, which is bullshit. But there's another theory that your phone is recording everything all the time, not just when you ask Siri a question, literally all the time. Here, let's just ask Siri ourselves. Siri, are you actually a government spy?
No comment.
That's fucking creepy, right? No comment? Let's ask her again. Siri, do you record everything I say?
This is about you, not me.
Siri, is everything I say being recorded by you and being sent to the government?
Who, me?
I mean, listen, bitch is dodging the question. Okay, so this next conspiracy theory is about the movie Peter Pan. So Peter Pan is about a boy who never wants to grow up and who will find little kids in neighborhoods and take them with him onto this journey to Never Never Land, and there they'll stay young forever. Now there's a theory that this story is actually way more fucked up and a lot darker than it sounds. Well, the theory is that Peter Pan is an angel and he takes the children who have died with him to Never Never Land. And that is heaven. And that is why they never grow up. Yeah. So Wendy and those other kids are all fucking dead, and Peter is taking them to heaven. I know, fucking sad, and totally changes that entire movie to me, and now it for some reason makes a lot more sense. Because the other version, like, why is this random dude in the middle of the night coming into these kids' bedrooms and taking them out of their sleep and taking them to Never Never Land? Well, here is another part of the theory. Supposedly what actually happened was there's a fire in their house, and the kids all died while they were sleeping. And then after they died, the angel came and took them away. Ugh, I don't know, it gives me the chills, but honestly, it also is kind of beautiful if you think about it. No, it's just creepy. Okay, so this next conspiracy theory blew my fucking brain, and that is because this is about one of my favorite things of all time, and that is the theory that the Titanic never actually sank. Okay, so you guys know how obsessed I am with the movie The Titanic, so this fucking really confused me. I did not want to believe it, but then after I started actually looking at all of the research and all of the proof, I think I do. So the theory is that the company that created the Titanic also had other boats, which is true. And one of their boats was called the Olympic. And supposedly the Olympic had had a couple collisions and was kind of on its last leg. And they didn't want to lose all the money that they were going to lose when the fucking Olympic couldn't go anymore. So before the voyage of the Titanic, they switched ships. So they put the Titanic logo on the Olympic, they put the Olympic logo on the Titanic, and then the boat that left with all those people on it that day was actually the Olympic, and they knew it was going to sink. And they wanted it to sink so that they could collect insurance money. I know, it sounds crazy, but honestly, it's not that far-fetched when you listen to the evidence. Number one, the portholes. So on the side of the ship, you can see all the portholes. Well, the Olympic had 16, and the Titanic only had 14. Well, here's a picture of the Titanic on the day that it sailed, and now it has 16. And you know what else has 16? The Olympic. So did they just swap them a few days before the sale? Seems that way. Number 2, when James Cameron was going underneath the water to look for the Titanic and look for old pieces of it, he took a bunch of pictures and a bunch of footage, and he got the side of the Titanic. Now when you zoom in really close on the side, you can see a big letter M and letter P. Well, you know what else has the big letters M and P on the side of it? The Olympic. Number 3, the Titanic had an almost impossible time finding people to work on the ship. So around the time of the Titanic, there was a big coal strike, which means there were thousands of people out of work that were desperate for jobs. But for some reason, nobody wanted to work on the Titanic. Nobody wanted to be an engineer. Nobody wanted to be in the ship. I mean, why would that be? If you're out of work, aren't you willing to work pretty much everywhere? Especially the biggest ship ever made that everybody's talking about? Well, supposedly people in the town had heard rumors that the ships were swapped and that it was going to sink for insurance money. And because of that, they did not want to work on it. Number 4, people who are really rich who bought tickets for the Titanic, most of them didn't show up. One of the richest, most powerful guys in the world at the time, J.P. Morgan, had a ticket for the Titanic and then a couple days beforehand decided not to go. And he claimed it was because he was sick. Well, then the New York Times spotted him out with his girlfriend, hanging out, having fun, not being sick on the day the Titanic sank. So did he not show up because one of his rich friends that owned the Titanic was like, no, bro, you don't want to do this. We're gonna sink that shit and collect some money. Doesn't sound like the craziest thing in the world. And the last piece of evidence is really fucking convincing. A man named James Fenton, who worked on the ship, said on his deathbed, and that the Titanic didn't sink that day, the Olympic did. He said that he survived the sinking of the ship, and then once him and the rest of the crew that survived got on land, people from the government were there. Well, James and his co-worker friends said, hey guys, we know what the fuck you did, we heard all the rumors, we know that we were on the Olympic. And the government people said, if you say one word about this, we will throw you in jail forever. And that's why he never told anybody until the day he died. I don't know. I mean, listen, I love the Titanic, and it doesn't change anything about that. Like, all those people still lost their lives, and it was awful, and the movie was still fucking everything. But maybe it should have been called the Olympic. Okay, so our last theory kind of hit home for me. Now, a lot of people say in the comments, Shane, aren't you afraid to talk about like the Illuminati and 9/11 and Mandela effects and all these things? Aren't you afraid that the government's gonna come and fucking kill you through your window? And I usually say, nah, that would never happen. Until now. A man named Max Spears, who is a famous UFOologist, recently died of natural causes. Or did he? A few days before he died, he sent a text to his mom saying, if anything happens to me, investigate. Now, supposedly he was about to uncover some really crazy, fucked up shit, and then he just randomly died of natural causes. Not only that, the cops decided that they didn't even need to do an examination on the body. He died of natural causes. Let's just bury him right away. Well, his mom came out and said, no, I think my son was murdered. So did he die of natural causes? Or, like his mom thinks, and like a lot of conspiracy theorists think, did he just get too close to unveiling the truth and the government came in and took him out? Either way, I'm not gonna lock in my doors. Well, there you guys go. Hopefully you enjoyed these conspiracy theories today. And if you want me to make more of these videos, please give me a thumbs up so I know. And subscribe to my channel right down below because I make new videos every day. And if you want to see a bunch of my other conspiracy theory videos, I will put a link to a playlist right at the top of the description below. And let me know down in the comments if you believe in any of these, and also if you have any more Mandela effects, because it is obviously my favorite thing in the entire world to talk about. Alright you guys, I will see you little theorists tomorrow. Bye.
So I got us like healthy lunches. You wanted healthy.
You wanted healthy too. You were like, let's do a healthy mukbang.
Yeah, because I'm trying to like get in shape, and I know you are too, and so
we're like, I knew you needed to.
Like, I knew I was looking at your pictures and I was like, oh, it's going up. I'm kidding, that's my picture.